Did you had any idea getting into a school that it was going to be so intense?
Well, I got drunk every single day after this selection process because I thought I didn't get in.
For me, I'm gonna tell you, I agree with you with the theater. I think theater is just the feeling of the theater, the smell. All the theaters in the world smell the same. I don't know why. My teacher used to call it, how's it called? Emotional masturbation.
Yeah. That's what I was talking about.
Okay, I get you. Yeah, good to hear it because it reminds me of the things that I don't do, but yeah. Hello, these are the Vulgar Conversations. Today I have Tomass, an actor in Latvia in the theater here. He's finishing his training this year as an actor. We worked together in the movie Vulgar. He was one of the young talents that I was very impressed with, and I wanted to have a conversation and keep it here for whoever is interested in knowing a little bit more about acting and writing and directing. And I really love to geek out in everything that is acting related, and I'm very happy that I have here Tomass to talk to me. And yep, first of all, thank you for coming, man.
Thank you for having me here. So my first podcast, by the way. So
Nice.
Don't be mad at me.
I feel proud. I feel proud. No. It's what I was telling you before we started. My idea, I've realized with this podcast, is that I'm gonna have a lot of fun seeing these interviews in 10 years. So I'm like, who do I wanna talk to that in 10 years I'm gonna be like, oh, look at what we were doing. I really like what you did in the casting, so I wanna know a little bit about your process, how you prepare for things. How are you enjoying the career? Because I don't know, how is it?
Well, it's been very intense. These 4 years, it's my fourth year, so
Okay.
now 3 years. It's been very intense. We are working like basically 6 days a week.
Okay.
Sometimes even 10, even sometimes even 12 hours a day. Well, it's maximum, of course, but sometimes it is like that. And but it's been really fun. And
Okay.
right now we're working on The Seagull by Chekhov.
Okay.
It's going to be, our premiere is going to be on the 1st of October.
Okay.
So you're more than welcome to buy the tickets and...
Yeah, let us know. I'll be there. I love watching that. Tell me a story. How did you got into acting school? How was that? The process, the selection. Where
The selection,
did you go?
it was crazy. It lasted 1 week.
Okay.
The first part was like getting, you should have made, I had to make some kind of video or something like that.
Okay.
It was easy. And second part, we had to do some kind of scene, a poem and a song.
Okay.
And I'm not really able to sing, so it was terrible. It was, and I got into this in this class where the teachers were sitting, and they were asking me to sing something. I was sweating, I was stressful, and I started rapping.
Okay.
Because I used to rap,
Okay.
and I started rapping with some curse words, and just shit was going all over the place, and they liked it.
Okay.
And that's how I got to the second part. The second part was they just gave us different kind of tasks to do.
Okay.
I remember one of the tasks was my task was to, you're a director,
Okay.
and my task was to make you stand up
Okay.
without talking.
Okay.
And we had this director sitting like with this, and I just walked to him and just punched with
The cap.
The cap, yeah.
Jesus
and,
Christ.
He stood up.
Okay.
And that's how I got to the fourth part.
Okay. So if somebody you had to advise and guide them to go through that process, what would you tell them? Like your younger brother or cousin or something, how would you tell them to prepare?
Be brave.
Okay.
Be yourself. It's hard to be yourself in these kind of
Situations.
situations.
Why is it hard?
Well, you're on the stage, everybody's looking at you, and you're trying to make best out of it. And most of the times when we're trying to make best out of it, we're kind of playing ourselves.
Yeah.
Really.
Like you're playing what you think the other one wants to see.
Okay. There was another thing. On the first part of this selection process, we were sitting like 8 people.
Okay.
And I was one of the 8 people just sitting there. And I came up with this idea, and I think it worked. I don't know if it worked, but I think it worked. I believe in it. When somebody was on the stage, I was just sitting and watching, but I kind of created some kind of story in my mind with them.
Okay.
So I kind of found a girl I fell in love with, I found the guy I hated, and just kind of played it out just in my thoughts.
Okay.
And because I knew that how these people who are kind of evaluating you, they are watching you not only when you're on stage, but when you're not on the stage as well.
Okay.
And that's how that's what I did. I don't know, maybe it was cringe, but I was just thinking. I was not really playing anything. I was just sitting there and just thinking that girl is very beautiful. Or that guy is just
an asshole.
An asshole,
Okay, interesting. How long did it last, the whole process?
1 week.
1 week.
Like
Okay.
5 days, I think, something like that.
Okay. Did you had any idea getting into a school that it was going to be so intense?
Well, I got drunk every single day after this selection process because I thought I didn't get in.
Okay.
I thought, okay, this time it was shitty. So.
But it was the first time that you tried, or had you tried
it was
before?
the second time. The first time I tried it was to this Jaunais Rīgas Theatres.
Okay.
And
the one that is here.
Yeah, the one that's
nearby.
here.
Yeah. Okay.
And I did very shitty.
Okay.
I had a broken arm.
Okay.
And,
So that didn't help.
Yeah, it was a mess. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. How is your experience in general with the act? Like, how do you feel? Is something that you want to pursue? Is it the biggest love of your life? How is it? Like the acting in general, like the profession.
Yeah, I love it, but I'm trying to think of maybe I'm not gonna do it only as an actor.
Okay.
I'm just thinking about it. I don't know if I'm gonna do it, but I'm kind of looking forward to directing as well.
Okay.
So as more as I'm getting into the profession, I understand that maybe I would want to do it.
Okay. Because for me, my story is that, when I was acting, I had this teacher that wanted me to direct. Mm-hmm. And it was because of the way I was communicating with everybody. But when you're an actor, you want to be on stage. You don't want to be telling anybody what they have to do on stage. You just want to be on the stage. And it was very hard for me to accept it and embrace it.
But you're not going to be on stage.
That I'm not going to be on stage, that I would have to direct certain things. But I took it a little bit of like, I take one for the team and one for myself. So I started acting on one side and directing on the other side. And also I had more experience with acting, so it was always easier to do it for me. Mm-hmm. And every time I would get something in directing, it would be a smaller thing. So I wouldn't, I wasn't I couldn't back at that time direct and act into something because I was just so much experience as an actor. But as a director, I just didn't know what to do. I was just starting. But at the end of the day, that same teacher told me that I needed to study filmmaking, like directing, but in films.
But this experience in acting has helped you a lot, right?
It's fundamental. I think it helps for everything. I feel acting is good for many things. One, for your personal life, because I think it teaches you a lot about emotion, regulating your own emotions. So before acting, I thought that when I was angry, it was like I had a reason to be angry. I don't know if that's the right way to explain it, but after I understood, no, I can get angry. It's not that I can get angry or not angry, or I can cry tomorrow in 5 minutes, or I can, like my emotion, I started separating and seeing my emotions as something that are not me. That is something that happens to me.
But it's not you, really.
It's not literally like I'm angry. It's because this guy is like that. I'm not like, okay, why am I angry? I would start asking questions. So I feel
it's trying to look at yourself from the distance, kind of.
Yes, yeah, 1000%. And then the other thing that is very helpful is that story-wise, like if you write, because I've been writing since forever, and if you write, you start. When you're an actor, you also start seeing, I think it's very easy as a writer, if just to see everything like in third person and second person, it's harder to see it in first person. And when you're an actor, you just see everything in first person because it's you, what is my activity in this scene? Yeah, like, I don't know, my verb here is that I gotta, destroy you. Yeah, so I'm gonna put a bunch of activities, how I do this, and then the poison or whatever is gonna be the scene. But everything is through me, I'm not seeing it from the outside. So that has been very helpful as a writer. And then the eternal problem between directors and actors, when the director is not an actor, is that directors tend to talk in third person and actors talk in first person. But if you're a director and you are an actor, it's very easy to talk in first person and explain the other one what you need, instead of trying to, you just give like an action or a seed, and the actor is going to take it what they have to take it. And you as a director know that from there you're going to get something that you want. Instead of telling you, I need you to move like this and this. Of course, there are certain things, especially when you're working with a camera. And the theater is the same because the audience has to see you, yeah? But in the camera, it's even more that I need you to hit marks, yeah? That, for example, if you're going to be smoking and your back is to the camera, nobody's going to see it, yeah? But those that has really made it helpful. Because a lot of the times, for example, I've been playing things that the director they don't know anything about acting, and they give you this type of directions that make literally no sense. Oh, you want to give a kiss to the girl, but instead of going for the kiss, you're going to wait. I'm like, actors don't think like that. Oh, do I go or don't I go? There's no, and if I'm waiting, I need another action. Oh, you heard something there, so you react, and that those kind of conversations between actors and directors have become 10 times easier for me because I've been in both sides. But I would encourage you, if you like directing, to do it. But if you like to be on stage, it's going to be hard. Like that moment of just sitting and watching is...
You have to accept the moment. Yeah.
You have to accept it. And also you have to accept that the other people are going to do it their way. Some people fall in love in a certain way, and you're trying to understand, okay, but do I feel this person is actively seducing, let's say it. Okay, yeah, I feel it. They might not seduce us how you seduce, but you need to be able to read it and accept it and play with it. I love it. Now I have fallen in love with the process, but...
Okay, I do have a question. You said you were writing from since young age, right?
Yeah.
How can you see the text from distance if you wrote it by yourself? Can you do it?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Well, because one of the things is that I understand the different stages. Yeah, so, but to be fair, this has taken me a lot of time. So I started writing like around 4. It's like, I have a teacher that sent me the first thing they published that I had written. It's literally a sentence or 2 sentences. But I was 4, I couldn't believe it. But I have been writing since forever. In our experience that we worked together in the movie, yeah, like the script is like a blueprint. I'm not writing a novel, yeah? Like it's not something that I understand that, and I'm not I normally don't write poetry. If I would be writing poetry, I would have to tell you, like, listen, you can't change the words because it is a poem. It needs to be word by word, timing by timing, yeah? But when it's not, then in the script, you're just trying to map out the story and understand the character motivations, what are they doing? And with each character motivation, something develops that from the distance tells you a story, yeah? Because the actors serve the story at the end of the day. The story has a point. I don't know, a mom that goes rescuing her child that is drowning, and the main thing that she needs to learn is that there's nothing, that she was all the time strong. She just needed the right motivation to jump in the water and swim and take the kid, let's say. I'm just making this up, yeah? But then you have a mom that doesn't know how to swim, and she has never felt good in the water, because if she's good at swimming, then there's no drama. She would just jump in the water. You need to put the obstacles and the motivations so that it works, that at the end, when she's jumping in the water, oh my God, she jumped. And you understand it because of her kid, and she's almost drowning, but she makes it through somehow. And at the end, when they're saved, you are with her and you understand, like, oh yeah, like I've had that too, that I don't believe I can do something, but I just, for X circumstances, push and got there. So I'm sidelining a little bit, but what I want to say is, like, writing is one thing. Then when you're shooting it and when you're working with the actors, what is important is that everybody understand in binary terms what do they need to do? Actions, like the way, active verbs. That's what Michael Chekhov used to say. Yeah? You need an active verb. You need something, and the bigger the verb, the better it is. Yeah. Like, so for example, if I don't like you, it's not as powerful as I hate you, and it's not, and I want to destroy you is even more powerful. The more
Destroy me?
No.
Fuck.
So the bigger the verb, the bigger the drama you can create. Yeah. So then when we are in the scene, I'm trying to pick those things to understand. Okay, what's your motivation? How is it gonna play for the other person? And then you give the context to the actor of like, oh, this is how you have to translate it. Like, I remember I had this teacher, I love this. Like, we were doing from Ibsen, Hedda Gabler. And I'm reading the text, and I just didn't get the drama. I'm like, oh, but she lives good. And then she tells me, no, this is like the Queen Elizabeth now just bought an apartment in Blaumania, and now she has to live in Blaumania and go to Rimi and this and that. Like, she has lost it all. This is terrible. But of course, me, reading, I'm like, why is she? It's Blaumania. It's amazing. It's very pretty here. But not if you're the queen, yeah? So that kind of translation that you need for the person to understand, and then you leave it to everybody. Everybody has their own technique. I feel like, for example, in Vulgar, I work with the main actor that came from Venezuela, that is Gabriel. He works with Meissner. Like, he likes the Meissner technique. They're all kind of the same, but a little bit different. Yeah, like, because everything started with Stanislavski, and and I don't care about what he uses to do the scene. I just need him to understand the scene. And then, so for example, there would be moments that I would say, oh, this is important for you, so I need to be able to see it. Yeah, and I would say some lame thing like, oh, maybe you do something in her head or something. And he would come up with something different, which is why I love to work with people that have done theater, because they just have, I feel I have like a library of actions and little things that then it comes a scene. And even if I haven't prepared, because literally what happened in that scene that I'm talking about, this actor, is that I had wrote it in the morning of the same day that we were shooting, so there was no way to prepare for that scene. You can pick, oh, this is gonna work here, and he would do this certain, like details that is like, it's a tiny action, but that you can see that how the character feels, how what he thinks, what he's, and then the other conversation, which is very, very important in general, is like, what's the character hiding? And how can you paint it also? So the guy's greedy, he's always has the hands in his pocket and he's looking around to see if he's gonna steal something. I'm just making stuff up, yeah? But these are different stages, from the writing to how you create the scene. And then when you're cutting, then you're literally, okay, this reaction works a little bit better because then when you're making the movie, there's a technical aspect. Are you in focus or not in focus? Were you looking at the moment? Did you blink too much or not?
Mm-hmm.
Did the camera guy tripped? Little things like that. So I do feel that if you're able to abstract yourself, but I think I can do it because I've done them separately. I have written things that other people have directed. Mm-hmm. I have directed things that other people have written, and I have acted things that I haven't directed nor written, that is from that I had a director and a writer that I didn't do. So you understand very clearly different the challenges and the stages. So that's how I do it. But there are people that are very, I see it like this, I want it like this. Yeah, like when it comes to film, and I'm guessing in theater it's the same here.
Yeah, it is the same. Of course, the directors are different.
Yeah. Experience-wise, what have you been doing more? Theater, TV?
What I've done more?
Yeah.
I've done more theater, of course. Yeah.
Okay. How do you feel the difference? What do you like better?
Well, I guess theater.
Okay, why?
Because theater art happens here at this moment, and maybe because theater at least for me, it can hit harder than a movie. At least for me.
As an audience.
Yeah. Well, if it's good, it's very rare. but if it's a good theater, it can hit so hard. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite play that you have done?
I really actually liked how's it called, Master and Margarita, which was in the Dials Theater.
Okay.
It's this season. I really enjoyed it. It's one of my favorite ones, I would say. There was years ago. There was this in Liepājas theaters. There was this Hanana, extreme psychological theater, but I enjoyed it.
Okay.
By Gillinger.
Okay.
And,
why did you want to be an actor?
well, I think the reasons change a lot. When you get into the school, the first reason most probably for everybody is to become famous, whatever, popularity, whatever. After the first year, the reasons change. After the third year, they're completely different.
Okay.
Because you understand there's actually work, and you have to do a lot of work to actually be good at it. And if you don't want to do the work, then why do it?
Okay.
And right now, why would I be? I thought about it like a couple of days ago, and I came up with this kind of, I don't know if it's going to make sense, but so basically, for example, there is this play by Dostoevsky, Idiot.
Yeah.
And there's this character, Rogozhin, and he kills his loved one, this Nastasia Filipovna, he kills her. Me, as an actor, if I'm going to be playing Rogozhin, I'm going to be killing her. It's going to be happening for real in my head.
Yeah.
So the question will be, why would I kill? Why would I want to kill anybody? That's the real question.
Okay.
I don't know why. No, I don't want to kill anybody.
I get it.
It's just a bad example.
Yeah. No, but I get it. I do feel that there's a little bit of exploring.
Yeah, it's just exploring the mind.
And the humans, like what other people have done that you're like, okay, how would this be? Do you have like a favorite so far? Like a favorite writer, like a play writer? Like, is there any of the, like, are you more like into Dostoevsky, Chekhov? Is there anybody your favorite?
Yeah, I know how the world feels about Russian literature right now, but I really enjoy Dostoevsky.
How does the world feel about the Russian literature?
Well,
but I think Dostoevsky and Chekhov, especially the Anton, like the uncle, are regarded as like pure genius. Like I don't think
as the classics, of course, but there is this opinion. I don't know how I feel about it, about using Russian literature in theater. But I think Alvis Hermans told it once in the interview that if you're using Russian literature in this moment, it should be used by reason. I don't know if I agree with the opinion. Most probably not really.
I definitely don't agree. Well, because I do feel that art in general, I feel there's always for me, it's why not? It's like, why are you doing this? Why not? Like in general, like for example, I've been very vocal about, I'm not a true supporter of cinema funded by the government, because I think that in my country, it used to be the same. And I think one of the problems that ends up happening is that they dictate, they have to approve your budget. So they want something that is supposed to be like a contribution to the art in the country. But that puts that I have to do, like in my country would be movies about people in the slums, starving, but I didn't grow up in the slums and I wasn't starving. So there's also place for my story. So I'm very against that type of cinema, but I'm not gonna go and fight it. I'm just gonna go and do my own. I think that cinema has a place. I think there's a bunch of people that can benefit from that cinema, other directors, they can tell their stories, and I'm super onto that. For me, it's more, I like to contribute on the other side, on the, okay, what is missing? So for example, I made a romantic comedy, but I literally came to Latvia and met a girl and had problems when we were, and this is the story, I don't know if the oldest story ever told, but a lot of people is gonna relate to going to another country and falling in love with a girl of the place and the cultural difference, how they see the world different. To be fair, I'm not too much into doing the classics. I'm more into doing my own stuff. Just because, we all train with the classics and that's very good. But I feel we need like modern stories. I feel life has changed a lot And, I make this little joke sometimes about Shakespeare because I've seen here recently they were doing Romeo and Juliet. And I'm like, brother, in 2024, that movie ends up like, bitch, where are you? I'm about to shoot myself. Like that makes no sense. Like, so, but again, I feel people want to do it, they should do it. But I go and contribute to what I feel is missing. I feel their new stories need to be told with people that have gone through different things, and that's what I try to contribute by making my movie. Yeah, but that's a personal choice.
So you're saying that the stories. So the question is, how do we find these stories?
I think everybody needs to be able to say, okay, this is important for me, and I want to talk about it.
It should be personal, yeah.
Yes, 1000%. Like, so for example, if for you, I don't know, acting has changed your life because this and that, then that's something that there needs to be talked about. I do feel we need a little bit of perspective because, for example, my country is in a very bad political and an economical situation, and a lot of people are trying to make movies about it. And I'm like, I still don't have enough answers to be able to make a statement that I feel, I don't know how I feel about the whole situation yet. Maybe it's too fresh for me, but about relationships, by going to another country, I had a very, very clear idea of what I wanted to talk about.
So when you're making a movie, how much do you put in your own statements and your own personal opinion about things in the movie?
I think it's 1,000,000,000%. It's like, you have to dramatize it, yeah, because there's certain things that are not, so for example, if in real life you go somewhere and you fall in love with somebody and it's love at first sight from both of you, that doesn't make a good movie. That's why romantic comedies nowadays are not that good, because they put two handsome people that are clearly gonna end up together meeting, and I know already they're gonna end up together. Look at that girl, I would end up with that girl. Look at that guy, he's successful, whatever, this and that. She would end up with him. What is the drama? There's nothing in between them. So you do have to dramatize things, because in my experience could have happened that I just fell in love with a girl and it was very easy. So what I would go is what I used to do is, like, for example, these movies loosely based in one relationship that I was, yeah, and but how we met is based into another girl that I met, yeah. That when we met, it was like, how's it called, like oil and water. They don't mix each other. So I would grab things about my life
and kind of compilating.
Yes, yeah, so that it would work in a bigger story. But I was very clear in what I wanted to tell. It was also a little bit of because I told the story from the girl's perspective, and I think that helped me to create something favorable to the girl, because I felt that there were certain things while I was in those relationships that I couldn't understand, and that it's not like I wasn't like I was apologizing, because that wouldn't be the right word, because I just didn't know. But it's kind of like, oh, I get it. Like it's a little bit of an apology, to say it somehow. But yeah, everything comes from personal. For me, I would never, like, I'm not gonna say I would never make a remake, because then I end up making one I wanna punch myself in the face, yeah. But the idea of the remake sounds terribly boring. Like it's like I hear that they wanna, even sequels. There are things that if you did it good the first time, you just did it good, and that's it, and it's not gonna change. And that's why I do get doing the classics in theater to a certain degree, because there are certain classics that are like, I feel the message cannot be better explained. So why are we gonna, let's tell the story again, yeah? And then everybody, as an actor, will give a little detail or something from a different perspective, and it would, make it fresh again. But when it comes to me, I want to write stories about things that I've lived, and that are very, and also that I feel that I have found an answer that I can give to somebody, yeah? So, and some people are gonna see the movie and they're gonna say, oh, this is nonsense. It never happens like this, and it's okay, because I do the same a lot of times. So that's how I do it. What do you think about it? When you imagine doing in the future, you want to create personal things, you want to...
Yeah, for sure. We had this task in academy last year. We had to come up with our own text.
Okay.
It was very interesting, actually. And there is this method, you as a writer, you most probably know this method, when you just sit down, grab a pen, and just write down everything that comes into your mind. Right? And then you kind of structure things into some kind of dramaturgy.
Okay.
So, but the problem that we had, the texts we came up with were very nice, brilliant.
Okay.
But we couldn't distance ourselves from the text when we had to play it out.
Okay.
So that's why I was asking you about distancing from the text, because of this task that we had. When we are grabbing some kind of text, which is already dramaturgy,
yeah,
we kind of played, most of the time we kind of play like easygoing, like a kind of playing your own text. It becomes very heavy. I don't know why.
Okay.
You know, but when you're playing some other people's text, it becomes the height.
Yeah, you're not. You have a distance. Yeah,
you
I
have
get
distance,
it.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And
what did you do? How did you solve the problem?
we didn't really.
Okay.
We didn't. Yeah.
Well, I do feel that. Well, you're still at school. I think one of the things is that we all need different processes. Because, for example, if I'm doing something as a writer, I know that there has to be drama. But once I create the drama, I'm gonna come back as an actor. Let's say it's a breakup, and I create a breakup based on something. I'm gonna dig deep into every breakup and see, oh, is there something else I can put here that could fit here? Not only a romantic breakup, it could be a friendship breakup that is gonna give me this kind of like different angle to, because that's what add the layers. If not, you just have the main drama. The person can always say, yeah, I'll miss you, yeah, and that's it, and you leave it there. But then they can put a desperation, I'll miss you, and then you know that that you start adding layers and layers down. Then she has something that gives, I'll miss you, and it gives it to the person. You can add layers down, and I feel the writing one, I always leave it very, for me, it's important that when you read the text, you understand what is happening, but I'm not trying to over-explain to the last degree, oh, we hear birds in the back. No, it's gonna be like, oh, it's a spring day. Okay, obviously we hear, but the spring day is just gonna cover everything, unless the birds are specifically there for a reason, yeah? So these are kind of like I do feel that the more I go through something, the more I can paint and add little details to go deeper in the things and create them bigger. Because I feel that the difference between great art and not so great art is just the layers. It's like how much more. It's like when you see a painter that somebody draws a line, and then the other keeps coming and does more, and then puts the oil painting, and then the thing, and then more, and then when you have this thick thing full of energy of people doing stuff to it. And this is what I try to do. Yeah, like because let's be fair, a lot of the times we try to do things and you try and you couldn't. Like you're really trying and you don't figure it out. It also helps the team that you're working with. Like when you're preparing to these things, you prepare alone with your classmates? How is that process?
We prepare alone, and then we kind of not really present, but we are just reading out loud.
And do your classmates comment something, or is only the teacher?
Everybody, if anybody has anything to say, they say it, yeah.
And then you go with the comments, and then you come back to do it again? Okay. And there's a moment that they say, okay, it's enough, this is great. Or where does it end, or you keep doing it forever? How's the thing?
Well, we kept doing it as long as the school year
is going.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Well, that's good because I that's another thing that I feel with the creative process, that it needs to have a deadline, because I feel that you can keep going, and the one thing that makes you stop is that, okay, it needs to get ready. So at some moment you gotta stop, because like once you have a little bit of experience, I feel that you get the feeling of something is 98% ready. Yeah, that 2 extra percent is not gonna make, it's not gonna be a difference that it's gonna be life and death. Yeah, it can make it better, but it's not gonna make it significantly better. So we tend to go back again. Oh no, but I wanna, especially when anything that is shot, you wanna edit and take something, it's just impossible because you always see something new and you always have an opportunity of take something out, so you really wanna do it. But because, you know, making a movie involves so many people, there are things that you have to finish at some moment, and then let's just let it go so that other people do their thing. Have you done other movies aside the one that we did?
Well, some small parts, some small episodes.
Okay. What, with who?
I was in Soviet Jeans in a very small episode.
Okay.
We've done some student projects.
Okay.
Here in the academy.
Okay. How did you like that experience?
I enjoyed it very much. Yeah.
Okay, and compared to the madness, because the day that we were shooting, I don't know how chaotic was for you.
No, it was good.
Okay,
Because we students, you know, we are used to crazy
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, so we are students.
You studied with Richards too, yeah?
Yeah, he was here as well.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
I met him today.
Yeah, because I kept running into him on the street, and I was like, "Fuck, I should talk to the guy," because we run like 3 times by chance. Yeah, and what's your plan for this year? What, just school?
Well, the season's kind of full for me. I'm having 2 this is called coursework. I don't know how it's called in English.
Okay.
2 of those. The first one is the Seagull,
Okay.
and the next one is Comedy dell'arte.
Okay.
We're gonna make our own texts and see how Comedy dell'arte lives. I'm gonna have one play in the National Theatre. It's called the Temple of the Golden Pavilion. I'm gonna be playing something similar to Raskolnikov from the Punishment.
The Crime and Punishment.
Something similar.
To
the guy. Yeah.
Question: what's your plan after you finish?
We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see.
But you don't have anything right now.
I think I'm looking forward to work in theater. We'll see how it's gonna go.
Well, we'll see. We're gonna see this long
It's
time after, and we'll see. Oh, look how everything ended up. For me, I'm gonna tell you, I agree with you with the theater. I think theater is just the feeling of the theater, the smell. All the theaters in the world smell the same. I don't know why, or at least they smell the same for me. I don't know what it is. I've tried to understand what it is. I have no idea, but I love that smell. And that kind of thing that you get to a place and when you get out, you have no idea where you have been, that you get lost in time. That's another thing that I really like about the theater. I don't know if it happens here.
It happens, but I don't know how do I feel about this theatrical atmosphere.
Okay.
I don't know, because I was sitting in the National Theatre 2 days ago, and I was looking at the ceiling, and I thought, what the fuck is this?
Okay.
I don't like it, I guess.
But you were sitting on the audience, or you were in the...
Yeah, in the audience.
Okay.
Yeah, and,
no, but I love it. But is it too big? What didn't you like? That it's too big, or what?
I don't know. It's kind of this feeling that, because I feel like theater can be anywhere. And,
Yeah.
Because I think it feels like I don't like this feeling of theater being kind of elite.
Well, like the thing is, like I haven't done theater here, and in my country, theater is not elite at all. It's actually the opposite. In my country, the main thing that was seen as elite were the soap operas, because we have a big culture of soap operas. And, it's, for me, it was very hard to get into that page because it's for a different type of audience. I'm going to put it that way.
I would love to see a soap opera. I haven't seen one.
No, you would love to act on a soap opera because it's madness. It's just literally theatrical deliveries. It is fun if you have other options. Like the thing is that, when you have options, even the bad options, you can take them lightly because you're not bound to just do something, yeah? But when you have no options, if you have to survive just by doing those things, it's kind of like, it feels a little bit silly. I'm gonna say that. I don't mean any disrespect for any soap opera actor, because I know it's a job like anybody else, and I know they do prepare and this and that, but the format is kind of like, it's a different type of format, that's it. So you feel in the National Theater there's like an elite kind of feeling.
Well, I think that the audience that actually go to the theater,
Okay.
it could be, I don't know what's the percentage. I would love to know the percentage, but I don't know. But my guess is 0.0 something. Very small group of people actually going to the theater.
Okay.
And I think most of them are actually rich and.
It's like a fancy cultural event to do.
Yeah, I feel like it.
Okay.
I think that people from countryside, they go to the theater maybe once per 2-3 months, and it's like a special event, and they
Okay.
buy the tickets to that play because they want to see those actors. And when the elite people, they go with the glass of wine and with the beautiful ceiling.
Yeah.
I don't like that. No, but it's good. No, I mean, I understand.
No, I get you. I get you. Yeah. Like it's different motivations, but I'm gonna tell you, the National Theater here, I've been only once. Very pretty. I was like, oh, this, and very well taken care of. Also the opera. I've been here in the opera, mind blown, and very, very nice places. I really like them. We don't have that. We have a National Theater. Long story. It's it got taken by the cultural people there, that is government run, so it stopped being so how it is here, that is kind of like, you can see that it's being taken care as a jewel and as something that the people are very proud, and like we don't have that, sad. But as you say, theater is made everywhere, and you just need some chairs and some audience to go and play some text.
Yeah, but I don't feel like it's a bad thing, but sometimes I feel like we are trying to hold to, every country has those traditional things, and I love those. I've been to this celebration of singing and dancing 2 times. I love it, but sometimes I feel like we are kind of holding to those traditions, and we're not letting some fresh air.
I do. On that I agree. I feel, that's why I say, I feel it's okay that they do it, then I'm gonna do my new thing. Yeah, that's why I fight. Of course it's harder because, as you know, for me, making this movie wasn't easy because it was privately funded, so there's adds different complications. But I can't wait even your comments about the movie. I made it for Latvians, like literally. Like, I feel it's a local story, and I want everybody to go to see it. And I think the actors are phenomenal. Like, the people here are very good. Katrina was a joy to work with. She did an amazing job. And I think it's a little bit more on that side of like, okay, what are we missing? How can we contribute? This is how I see it. Like, they have the Romeo and Juliet, they have their old classics, they have the big theaters. Okay, how can I contribute? What can I make new? I know how to make movies. Theater is just too expensive to do theater. Like, if you don't have some kind of funding from some government, it's just, because it's a lot of work. Like, theater is way more work than making a movie, or at least for me, because it's the time that you have to spend. And the movie has different challenges, but it also has an upside, like that if you do make a successful movie for the audience, then you can make money. And but the theater has a limited amounts of seats, and that's it. Yeah. So.
Yeah, but I feel like cinema is much more expensive.
Yeah. It is much more. It's harder to find the first money, but the business is bigger. That's the difference. Like, for sure. Like, that. Don't get me wrong, but if you do make successful theater, the amount of money that you can make is not as big as if you make a successful movie. Also because you can sell a movie everywhere. Yeah, like, it's in a hard drive, you send it to Korea, and if they like it, they're gonna buy it, and you make money about it. If you go to Korea with your Latvian play, it's gonna be a challenge because they speak Korean, and so it's the same with Spanish and things like that. But I do feel that theater has a certain type of. I love the atmosphere, and the camaraderie, like the friendship between the actors, and that you share this kind of different type of lifestyle. I think that makes you get closer to the people that you work, because you live like in a different world with different rules, different times. you know, you're saying this, that you're working 12 hours a day. I'm like, Jesus Christ. I hear you. I'm like, oh my God, I get tired hearing you. Just the idea, yeah? But yeah. How about Latvian movies? Have you seen Latvian movies? What are your thoughts on Latvian movies, Latvian cinema in general?
Well, I think it's getting better.
Okay.
My favorite one is, I don't know how it is in English. I'm going to say it in Latvian. It's Pilsēta pie upes. It's by this director, Viesturs Kaidišs.
Is that old movie, new movie? How old is it?
3, 4, 5 years ago.
Okay.
Made, so.
Okay.
But I think the cinema is getting better, a lot better than it was. And I think in 5-10 years we're going to be in a good place.
In a good place.
Yeah.
Do you go a lot to watch Latvian movies or?
Not really, no.
Not really.
Not even TV series, no.
Not even.
No.
Well, but right now you're studying. What time are you going to be able to watch anything?
Yeah.
Okay. One thing that today I learned how many movies, Latvian movies, were released in the last 3-4 years. There were so many movies and I had no idea. So that's why we're doing all these things to promote.
But it was actually because of the 100th birthday.
Yeah. That there were a lot of movies made. Yeah, I remember. Yeah. Okay. So you do feel it's getting better?
Yeah.
Okay. Because before, how was it before?
Well, I was a kid. I don't know, but we had quite cheap of these TV series and all that stuff.
Okay.
It was not good, really. But there are a couple of movies that are quite brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah, we're not trashing the Latvian cinema, but it's good that it's getting better. I think that's amazing. What do you do for self-development, self-discovery? Any tips that you have? What's your process?
Just thinking.
Thinking?
Just thinking, yeah.
Okay. But you spend hours thinking? What do you mean by thinking?
Listening will be a more appropriate word.
Okay.
Just kind of listening to others and listening to yourself, I guess. Because sometimes I feel like I'm trying to push myself to be the person I was a year ago, or to be the person I was a week ago. But today I'm different today.
Okay.
And I kind of feel like I have to listen who I am today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think acting has helped with that?
Yeah.
Do you do any type of like listening exercises?
Well, I do meditation, yeah.
How do you meditate? Like long, 15 minutes? How?
Most of the time it's like 50-20 minutes, but today I did a meditation combining with a speech exercising. Two rabbits with one shot, you know. You're working on your voice and you're working with your mind at the same time.
I tried meditating a little bit for a season. I think I did it for like maybe 5-6 months. And I was doing it, but man, it's just impossible. I just have a pace of life. Maybe that's why it would benefit me so much, because I'm just going so fast. Yeah, good to hear it, because it reminds me of the things that I don't do. But yeah, what are your thoughts on relationships, love in general? Do you have any stance? What do you believe about? What do you think makes a great relationship?
I don't know. Every relationship is different. But of course, there are many things that are kind of universal things, like trust and some other things. When it's the right person, you kind of know it's the right person.
Yeah, that sounds very romantic.
Oh fuck.
Fuck. No, but it's true. It's true. I believe feeling is important. I also believe like you need, to be aligned in certain things. Like how to say, agree in many subjects.
Yeah, I think you have to kind of agree on the same rules, I guess.
Yes.
And I would find it as the most important thing, that we are both on the same page on what we're doing.
As an actor, is it harder to date people that are not actors, or you are only dating actors?
My girlfriend is an actress.
It's impossible, because for me it happened the same when I was studying acting. You just don't have time to meet anybody else outside.
Yeah, I guess that's that. Yeah. Could be that.
Yeah, and then also you're talking about nonsense to other people. Yeah, like when you're talking about your acting process on your day, for other people it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, it makes no sense. Like I remember, and this is so silly. But there's this exercise, I think it's from Meissner, that you grab a text and you read a line and you just tell to your partner the line, like, I don't know, like, good morning. And you all the time after each line you say, did you hear me? Are you listening to me? Okay, and then the person says yes, and then you read, you see how they react, and then they do the same. Are you listening to me? And you're like, yes, and then you go like this. that exercise, I did it with a friend of mine, well, with a guy that was in the class that ended up being a friend of mine. And we laughed, like, I don't know why it was so stupid. Like that silly laugh that you start getting and then you cannot get rid of it. And it was something that I think it rejuvenated me like 20 years because of how much I laughed, yeah. I had a girlfriend at that time, and I go out and I'm telling her how funny this is, and it was like I was the biggest idiot in the universe talking to her, because she couldn't understand how I thought that was funny. And I think that started happening with me when I started acting like more frequently, that you kind of live like in this parallel world. And it's easier to understand yourself with people that are doing the same that you.
But I think it would be very healthy to, if you find yourself in a situation where your girl is a doctor or a lawyer, I think it could be good as well.
Yeah, for me that ship is sailed. No, well, as you know, I work with my partner, and I just can't see it anywhere. Like I could, well, maybe I don't know. maybe you're right. I'm thinking about old stories, so that's why I laugh.
I think it should be either very close or very, very opposite to the profession you are doing. If it's something in the middle, then. But I can't find an example of what could be in the middle.
I can't imagine coming home in the night after a shoot talking to a doctor. Like
I can.
You can.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
I think it would be nice, actually. And she's telling you, about the patients and about the nurses and about everything, and you're like, what the
And
fuck?
I'm like, I couldn't care less. No, I'm not. I would care, but no, I get you. Maybe.
And you think that you in New York you have some kind of problems in art, and then there are real people just in the hospital. And
I'm gonna tell you, I have a different. Now that you say that, that's a sensitive subject for me. I do believe art is super important. I don't believe doctors are more important than actors. I don't believe those things. Like I understand for sure that as a society and objectively, I can say that, well, engineers are needed to build everything, doctors are needed to keep people healthy, this and that. But I do believe that if you're gonna choose a profession, it's like acting. It's your only one profession, and it has to be the most important profession, and nothing comes. So I think when I made that choice, I had a teacher that I think I've said it in the podcast, that she would say, don't sit like this, you're not a doctor. Sit straight, you're an actor. Like, an actor is so much better than being a doctor. And she was the only one that I ever heard like that. And that really made me feel proud about what I was doing, because it feels a little bit like playing. So you do have a little bit of an imposter syndrome at the beginning, because you feel like what you're doing is not that important and this and that. But now I can tell you that I feel that everybody has, that what is important is whatever role you're playing to the fullest. Some of the problems some of my grudges with acting, because I feel acting is so much worse nowadays than when I grew up. And I believe certain of the problems is that mentality that, that we're just actors, yeah? And this came because Marlon Brando used to talk like that, like acting there wasn't that big of a deal. Of course, very gifted guy, great actor. And then I don't know why he had to go trashing like it wasn't important and trying to make it, this comes too easy. I don't know. But I feel it needs to bring back to understand, no, this is very important. It needs to be taken super seriously, because man, the result has been that, I don't know if you feel the same way, but if we see serials right now, theater right now, the acting is terrible everywhere in general. Yeah, like I also feel I have talked this before, the celebrity syndrome, that people just want to be famous instead of want to be in a role. What you were saying, I want to explore what does it mean to kill somebody, because you're not gonna kill somebody unless you're fucking psycho. So, but as an actor, you're gonna try to understand what is the situation, what went through the person's mind, and this and that, and this is the goal. This is the commitment. Not if, I don't know, whoever follows you on Instagram or not, or how many followers you have. Yeah, we all have to pay bills, and I understand how that is important. We gotta go back to the root, to having good actors, and it cannot be that, and the writing also, no? And the movies also. No, why? We have more information, we have more tools, we have no excuses. We have to be better. Like, that's it. Like, there's no way somebody 200 years ago having less tools than we had could create better things that we can, and this is only gonna happen if we really commit to doing bigger things, and you know, digging the truth and trying to understand these things, these personal stories. I feel before there was not so much of industry. Yeah. Oh, this is gonna sell, and of course we all want to sell because we want to make the money. But you first make your personal story, and then you say, okay, how do I package it so that people are gonna come to the movie?
Yeah, but I think it's kind of related to self-discipline. The thing I was saying about real and not real problems was because I feel like many actors, they kind of sometimes forget that they're playing real stories. They're playing things that actually happen to people, not some kind of imaginary things.
Yeah.
And I sometimes feel like some actors kind of enjoy these things that, of course, there is a little bit of enjoyment in these things that you kind of live through the pain. Yeah. But some actors kind of, I don't know how to describe it. You know, they enjoy the pain.
And my teacher used to call it, how's it called? Emotional masturbation.
Yeah. And that's what I was talking about.
Okay, I get you. The challenge is emotional masturbation.
How do I feel about the scenes that it should be like that I don't want to play the scene because I don't want to be in the situation. But I feel like many actors, they want to play the scene because... I can cry in the scene and I can be emotional.
No, that's a different issue, but it's an issue on itself. But I get it. Tomass, thank you for coming. I feel very honored that you did your first podcast with me, and I can't wait to see this 10 years from now and see where you're gonna be. As I told you,
I'll be 35.
It's good. 35 is good. 35 is good. I mean, come on, I don't want to even tell you. But I'm gonna tell you, can't wait to work again with you because, as I told you, it's a couple of you that really like working with. You guys are doing a terrific job, and I think your work has to be spread to the world. Yeah. And that's what we're trying to do here in Latvia. And thank you for coming again today. And thank you for watching us, and see you next time.